Fukushima Prefecture stretches about 8 kilometers across mountain ridges, yet its panhandle narrows to just 90 centimeters between Yamagata and Niigata. This strip lies in northwestern Fukushima and belongs to Kitakata City. It follows a ridge from Mount Mikuni across Mount Aide to Mount Anishi. This is not a valley corridor, it is a narrow connection drawn along the mountain crest. The shrine and its approach trails were central to the dispute. The boundary crossed a high, steep ridge rather than settled farmland. The mountain path is rocky and unpaved, climbing steep slopes around the shrine. A dispute began in 1886 after Higashikanbara district transferred to Niigata. In 1907, a national field survey recognized Mount Aide Shrine and its trails as Fukushima, formally preserving the strip. Today, Fukushima's border still follows that footprint from ridge to ridge. At its narrowest, the strip is about 90 centimeters wide alongside a rocky trail on the ridge. Japan's first Nozomi 301 ran from Tokyo to Osaka while passing through both Nagoya and Kyoto without stopping. It left Tokyo Station at exactly 6 a.m., aiming to connect the two cities in 2.5 hours. It followed the Takedo Shinkansen, Japan's main high-speed corridor, toward Osaka. That schedule targeted Osaka's early morning business travelers. The line's early services faced 170 km/h limits on some sections while track ballast stabilized after maintenance. Ballast, the crushed stone supporting rails, was still settling. Skipping two major stations triggered strong local backlash, with residents arguing the issue involved civic pride, not only travel inconvenience. The bypass made the missing platforms a public issue in both cities. In 1997, Nozomi 301 was merged with Nozomi 1 and abolished. Afterward, the service stopped at both Nagoya and Kyoto, restoring them to the express route. A Category 4 hurricane reduced East Island from an 11-acre green sea turtle nesting site to a 50-meter sandbar. Nature later rebuilt about 60% of its former area. East Island lies in the French Frigate Shoals, about 550 miles northwest of Honolulu. Before 2018, it measured 800 meters long, 120 meters wide, and roughly 11 acres. Hurricane Walaka passed directly over the atoll in October 2018. Its surge and waves overwash a low island made mostly of loose sand and gravel, stripping sand and shifting sediment. Sediment transport then rebuilt parts of the island's former footprint through the surrounding shoals. By 2024, satellite and field observations showed roughly 60% of its former land area had returned. That partial recovery restored habitat on a low island once important to green sea turtles and Hawaiian monk seals. Turtles began nesting again while seals returned to rest on the rebuilt ground. In February 1918, Nantucket temporarily connected to mainland Massachusetts, not by a ferry but across frozen Nantucket Sound. Nantucket is an island separated from mainland Massachusetts by Nantucket Sound. This happened during the brutal winter of 1917-18, a season remembered across the northeastern United States as the old-fashioned winter. A February cold wave froze the sound into a thick ice layer across its waters. That ice spread across the sound, forming a temporary bridge between the island and mainland Massachusetts. The freeze was not just a map change. Small ships remained trapped in Nantucket Sound throughout January and February while maritime and rail operations temporarily stopped. Rail transport temporarily stopped operations during the winter in some places. In the Ohio Valley, this remains the coldest winter on record. The Sound looked like a route, but its trapped ships showed that the frozen connection had briefly stopped movement. Hyōtanjima is one small, uninhabited Japanese island split between Hiroshima and Ehime, yet its prefectural border measures only about 74 meters. It lies in the Seto Inland Sea between Omishima and Ikuchijima within the Jeyo Islands chain. The northern end belongs to Hiroshima, while the southern end belongs to Ehime. The island is shaped like a calabash, a traditional bottle gourd with two hills forming its northern and southern high points. Its circumference is about 700 meters, so the prefectural division crosses a very small landform. That 74-meter line is Japan's shortest prefectural border. For scale, the next shortest borders measure about 3.2 and 3.5 kilometers, more than 40 times longer. Meiji-era boundary stones remain on the island, reflecting numerous attempts to resolve local disputes. Those disputes are linked to fishing rights. The stones still mark the physical history of a border almost shorter than a city block. El Salvador has no Atlantic coastline, yet its blue-white-blue flag includes a stripe representing the Atlantic Ocean. The apparent mismatch is intentional, not a map error. El Salvador is a narrow Central American country on the Pacific side of the region. Its flag uses a horizontal blue-white-blue triband with the national coat of arms centered in the white stripe. The upper blue stripe symbolizes the Pacific, while the lower blue stripe symbolizes the Atlantic. That Atlantic reference represents Central America as a whole, not an El Salvador shoreline. The white center symbolizes peace. The current triband was adopted in 1912, and its official design was established by the 1972 Law of National Symbols. So the flag's map is wider than the country itself. One blue band marks El Salvador's Pacific coast, while the other connects its national symbol to Central America's two-ocean geography. The white band keeps peace at the center. Transnistria is not a communist state, yet its official flag displays a hammer, sickle, and red star inherited from the Soviet-era Moldavian SSR. This breakaway territory lies along the Dniester's left bank and is internationally recognized as part of Moldova. It declared independence from the Moldavian SSR's authority in 1990. Its red-green-red triband is equivalent to the former Moldavian Soviet Socialist Republic flag, the political system it broke away from. The inherited design became the foundation for a new state symbol. A state symbols law officially adopted the flag on 18 July 2000. It standardizes the red, green, and red bands, plus the gold hammer and sickle and red star, but assigns none of them particular meaning. That layered system even has a simplified reverse, omitting the star, hammer, and sickle. The Russian flag also has equal legal status, leaving one state with multiple distinct official flag arrangements. In Colombia's Amazon region, Caquetá recorded a 0.708 Human Development Index in 2022. Yet 44.8% of its population was below the poverty measure in 2021. The department covers 88,965 square kilometers, with Florencia as its capital. Its 2018 census counted 401,849 residents across that territory. It lies within Colombia's Amazon natural region. The figures are separate indicators, not two readings of one scale. Poverty is reported for 2021, the Human Development Index is reported for 2022. Caquetá has 16 municipalities. Everyone was designated a PDET territory after Colombia's 2016 peace agreement, linking the whole department to a post-agreement development program. That matters on a map. The 0.708 index summarizes the department at one level, while the 44.8% rate records poverty at another. The map contains 16 municipalities, so neither figure can stand in for every household. A regional average cannot show each place's lived conditions.